Hey.
Hey, hey.
Welcome to the Dripping Stone Podcast. Podcast where two friends raise a glass and have a conversation. I'm Nick.
And I'm Kyle.
Hey, Kyle.
Hey, buddy.
How's it going?
It's going.
We are here amidst a hail of gunfire.
Yes, not safe at all.
No, but we still have to bring the Dripping Stone Podcast to the people.
That's right.
Yeah, next door to our studio, they're getting a roof redone.
Yeah, we're building our studio. New studio.
Don't lie to everybody. The people next door to our studio are getting their roof redone. And so if you hear some pops and cracks in the background, that's why.
Yeah.
Which all of that might be taken out. And you might not have heard any of that, depending on how it sounds.
Because they're really quiet right now, now that we've mentioned
quiet
it.
right now, yeah. I've got a bit of an allergy thing going on too, so I don't know if I sound different or not. Right. Every time you're going to make me laugh, I'm like... That's gross.
Chunky.
I could have done without that.
Sorry.
That's okay. I mean,
Sinuses.
sure.
You know how it goes.
I unfortunately, right now I do. I don't know if I sound different, but if I do, that's why.
Good explanation.
Thanks. Hey, before we get started this week,
Okay.
we've got an email from a listener.
Nice.
I know. Let me find it. Got to scroll up, Kyle. There it is. Found it. Okay. This comes from Swift, which I was like,
Taylor?
Ooh, I didn't think of that. Well,
Yeah.
it's Swift. L is the last name. So I don't know.
Got an L in her name. Taylor.
The subject is "I'm happy!" exclamation point. The message says, "Hey boys, I'm the kind of gal that loves a good cask strength whiskey."
Same.
You're the kind of gal that loves the cask strength
Yeah.
whiskey. Okay.
On the weekends.
Well, you know what you do in your spare time is what you do in your spare
My
time.
prerogative. Indeed.
Yeah, and I agree that the Highland Park is a good one.
Nice.
I say good, not great. Because it's not as refined as I hoped it would be.
Okay.
Maybe a bit on the young side, like you said. Did we say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's batch one, and we felt like, it sounds like they might have rushed it just to kind of meet demand.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I remember that now. I didn't when I did preview this one. I don't always preview them. I did preview this one, and I was like, I don't remember if we said that.
Nice.
I was listening to the episode, and I was thinking about whether or not there is a correlative effect between a level of happiness provided by a situation and the amount of money spent on said situation. Asses and glasses, Swift. P.S. There's a P.S., Kyle. I'm not original. I just shortened Sarah's sign off. Sarah from a couple weeks ago.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what was Sarah's.
What did she say?
Swift said asses and glasses. Swift.
Asses and glasses.
That's a pretty damn cool name, though. I got to be honest with you, like Swift.
Yeah, Swifty.
I mean, I don't. That might be a nickname, or it might actually be a real name.
Yeah.
Either way.
The other sign off was something like that. And I remember thinking like, oh, cool.
Clinking glasses and showing asses. That was Sarah's sign off from a couple weeks ago. Okay,
Cool.
Yeah. So I think what Swift is trying to ask here is if I pay $50 for an experience, or if I pay $180 from the same experience, do I have a better experience?
That's a tough one just because I think it's all relative.
Right?
And I think that's kind of where we ended up in that conversation of it's all kind of a foggy, blurry line of so many different factors.
Sure.
I think in an example of you pay $100 for a meal, you pay $10 for a meal. Is there a correlative effect of how much money you spent based on how much happiness you gain from that event? I think there can be.
Yeah.
If you're paying a $100 meal that is a black tie event that is in New York City or Paris or wherever, compared to a $10 meal at your favorite barbecue place back home, like you can have a really awesome, happy experience at both.
Right. I think it's hard to quantify this maybe unless you were to do like an experiment of, okay, and we're going to give somebody a fine steakhouse experience. Mm-hmm. Group A is going to pay $80. Group B is going to pay $160. We recognize like happiness, you can't really quantify it because it is so nuanced for people or per person, But is the person who paid $160 going to be happier with the situation because like, no, this is fancier. Like this is a better situation. Like, I mean, that meal, man, it was great. And it was $160. Is the group that paid $80, they're like, oh, that was good, but I've had better. You know what I mean? Like, or will they be like, no, that was a great experience and it was only $80.
Right. I think in that essence, if you're getting the same thing, but you paid more or less for it, then it's a little easier to quantify the amount of happiness.
Yeah.
Either because it's based on the deal. It's based on what you paid to get it. Versus, say you're going to a hotel.
Right. You've
got this $400 a night room that has a balcony that's overlooking the ocean or the city or whatever, versus you paid $200 for the room that overlooks the dumpster in the back alley.
Right.
With no balcony, One of those is going to provide a better experience,
Sure.
provide the possibility of more happiness because of the experience, but you're also paying more for it. So it's kind of like you earned it? I don't know. It's kind of like you would expect to enjoy one more.
So then the answer is yes, there is a correlative effect based on how much you're going to pay. I think it's how much you're going to pay up to a point. Like at some point, it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, that starts to break back down.
Oh, yeah. Well, and also, like, if you go into a situation thinking, this taco is going to be a $4 taco and it's going to be delicious, and wait, now it's an $8 taco? No. That's where it breaks down too, because you expected it to be a $4 taco.
Right.
Making it an $8 taco doesn't make it a better taco.
Right.
Unless I guess you're like, well, yes, okay, listen. Now it's an $8 taco, but we're putting this in it, and it's from this, and it's more I guess. I don't know.
It's supply and demand.
Sure.
In that essence of like, I don't know. It's a fantastic taco. It's the best taco I've ever ate. It was only $4. Oh, okay. Well, now everybody knows about it. Everybody wants my $4 taco. I can't make them fast enough. I'm going to start charging more for it.
Right.
Is it still not the best taco you ever had, and now you just have to pay $8 for it?
Ooh. I would say, listen, people go to baseball games and pay $20 for a beer.
Yeah, and a soggy dog.
And a soggy. That's one of my nicknames in college.
I knew it. I gave you that nickname in college.
Got weird quick.
Had to go somewhere.
I know. Well,
It went weird.
But seriously, like you're paying $20 for a crappy beer anyway, that you could literally walk to the gas station across from the baseball stadium and get a case of it for $20
for half that price. Yeah.
Yeah. So situation maybe.
Totally.
Yeah. Anyway, I think it's an interesting thought experiment.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those things that you could make a graph for any situation of like, the Y is
right.
the amount of money, the X is the amount of happiness,
and
like where do you fall on the chart with this experience?
Then I feel like you also need to have like a Z axis too, of like, okay, but in this situation, so you get into like, I don't know, math that involves a lot of letters, and I'm not about that.
6D chess.
Huh?
6-dimensional chess.
Oh, yeah. No, that's
really,
ridiculous.
Really complicated.
That exists?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, that's not a thing. It's one of those jokes like, man, he's playing 4D chess, which means like you're thinking on a higher level.
Oh.
Like everybody else is just playing 2D chess.
Clearly, I don't play 4D chess.
4D chess.
Clearly, I don't. Anyway, you want to drink something?
Yeah, I'm thirsty.
Cool. What you want to drink?
Something refreshing.
Okay.
Perhaps, I don't know, in the realm of beer.
I like where this is going.
And maybe at the same time, weird.
Okay.
What you got?
I can check all those boxes for you, buddy.
Boom. I knew you could.
Okay. So this is our final episode of November.
Post Thanksgiving, or is this the day before Thanksgiving?
This is the day before Thanksgiving.
This is Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
The 25th.
Happy pre-turkey day.
Hey, man. I might be having brisket tomorrow. So you
Happy
too.
Pre-brisket day.
Thanks.
From Denver.
Yeah. Well, I'm on my... Right now, as this episode has dropped...
You're in Denver?
I am still in Denver, but by the time I actually listen to this episode, I will be here.
Incredible.
I know.
Incredible. We are playing 4D chess. Time is irrelevant.
I think you're playing
and
4D
space.
chess.
Like, what?
Anyway.
Currently, you are in Denver,
right?
But by the time you listen to it, you are not. Psychedelic, man.
Psychedelic.
The day that we add mushrooms into this podcast is going to be lit.
It's like the Joe Rogan episode with Elon Musk. Shit went off. Yeah, so this is our final episode in November.
Cool.
Our next episode will actually be from a little food and wine festival.
Nice.
So just to tease a little bit. So this is our final November episode. Our first December episode will actually be from a thing that you can't go to anymore.
Cool. Yeah.
That's how
We
do.
closed it down.
We did.
We left and they were like, we're done.
I mean, with that being said, did you know December is actually technically still a fall month? Like winter doesn't happen until like
21st.
So December is technically
Primarily month of autumn.
there. It is. Thank you. I appreciate that. Being that this is our last episode in November, I figured we'd end with a couple fall beers. This is from a sampler pack by a brewery that we've actually done some sampler packs from before.
No kidding.
This is the Harpoon Brewery. Wait for it. Dunkin sampler pack.
Duncan as in
Donuts.
no joke.
Yeah. So in this sampler pack, there are 4 beers. So we're going to do 4 beers in this episode.
Okay.
We're doing the Dunkin Pumpkin,
Dunkin Pumpkin,
the Dunkin Midnight,
Dunkin Midnight,
the Dunkin Maple Cream,
Dunkin Maple Cream.
and then the Dunkin Blueberry Matcha IPA in that order.
Cool.
You don't sound happy, Kyle.
I'm not. I'm a little worried.
Why?
I'm going to be honest.
Why? I mean, listen, we've sampled some really interesting beers here lately.
Indeed, we have. I'm just at this point, out of this selection, these particular flavors you're throwing at me.
Yeah.
I guess we're going to drink them.
Okay. Let me say this.
Yep.
I feel like I might speak on behalf of us. We trust Harpoon.
Indeed. Remind me again, where do we have Harpoon?
Harpoon was the summer league pack. It had the rec league, the bush
baseball.
league, the baseball theme one. That was that was what, back in like July? I think it was back in July.
That was some summer.
Yeah,
for sure.
It definitely was in the summer. So
I think that was our first TikTok. I think that would have been that one.
I think you might be right.
I think so.
Yeah. Go back and find that TikTok and you like that TikTok.
Yeah. We'll send you a sticker.
We'll send you a sticker with our faces on it.
And you got to comment, not just a like.
Yeah. So I will say I trust Harpoon enough.
Sure.
I will also say that Harpoon a couple years ago released just a Dunkin beer.
Yeah.
And you can find it's just like a coffee ale, I think, or a coffee stout, one of the two. It exists.
Right.
So I'm hopeful, but I'm optimistically cautious. How about that?
Fair enough.
Okay. Let's do this. Let's get into the first one, the Dunkin Pumpkin.
Dunkin Pumpkin.
Which I kind of wish we had for our pumpkin ale episode.
I don't disagree.
We couldn't find it
At the time.
Yeah, at the time. So here it is.
It's okay. Our previous knowledge on the pumpkin
Sure.
will obviously apply, and we'll be able to give it an honest.
Yeah, but let's also both be honest. It's not going to do well against the Schlafly. It's just not.
Not wrong.
No. So we'll start with the beer, then we'll start our conversation and kind of work through them like
Okay.
we've done in the past.
Bounce it around.
Yeah.
Bring it.
Well, not the beer. You don't want to bounce the beer around. So this is a Dunkin Pumpkin. It's an ale brewed with lactose, cinnamon, pumpkin puree, coffee, and other natural flavor. Other natural flavor. Not flavor.
One other natural flavor.
Just one.
It better be a Dunkin Pumpkin donut because those are heaven.
Because they're delicious. Anyway, this comes brewed in Boston or Windsor, Vermont. Either one. We don't necessarily know. But it does contain lactose.
All right, Dunkin Pumpkin.
What you got on the nose?
Pumpkin beer. I mean, I'm going to say it. I can smell the lactose.
I can too. I was going to say like it's got that like sweet milk creamy note.
Yeah. So like that's a little different. I feel like there was really only one, and I don't remember which one it was that had that. Maybe that Jacko.
Maybe.
But there's definitely, it's heavy on the spice. I'm going to say that. It's not, I know they say there's some pumpkin puree in there.
Yeah.
But I'm getting a lot of that spice.
It's like a nice subtle pumpkin flavor to me. Or pumpkin smell to me. It's not like, I don't know, it's not pumpkin spice latte like that heavy, but it might be heading in that direction.
Right. You're not in the realm of Bath and Body Works.
When we say Kirkland store.
Oh, Kirkland's.
All right, I'm going in. Yeah.
That definitely leans coffee.
It does. It's actually really coffee.
Strangely enough. Like I was thinking more just generic pumpkin beer. I was not expecting.
It's like a pumpkin. Like I hate flavored coffee. I am not a flavored coffee guy at all.
Interesting.
But you like flavored coffee?
I love a good pumpkin coffee. I'm not going to lie.
No. See, I'm out.
Like a cold.
I'm out.
I'm out, y'all.
I'm out.
That time of the year, man.
I get it. And I understand the like of it. It's not for me. But this, however, it's actually really nice and light. Like when I was thinking pumpkin beer, I thought this was going to be heavy.
Yeah, and based off the nose, I was thinking it too. And like on the taste, I don't really get lactose.
No, I really don't
get
either.
that weird lactose sweetness.
You know, it must just be that like slight lactose that makes it a little. I mean, it's kind of hazy. I mean, you definitely can't see through it, but I think it's enough lactose that just gives you that like creamy kind of note. But it's definitely not like, you know.
Yeah, like that cereal milk nonsense.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's usually all I get.
I actually think it's quite enjoyable. I really do.
I'll say it's not bad.
I think it's your previous. It's your prior.
It's not that. It tastes a little watery to me.
Okay.
When I'm thinking coffee, and especially like flavored coffee,
Right.
I don't want watery to be in there because that makes me think of like an iced coffee that you've let sit in the car, and it's just like ugh. There's a little bit of that happening.
I'm pretty sure we have on record that like you would drink that.
If I'm thirsty, hell yeah, I don't care if it's liquid. I'm drinking it.
I got this antifreeze. Okay, I'm thirsty.
Bring it. I need to drink something.
ABV. What you got?
I'm gonna lean. Man, it tastes low, but I don't think it's all the way like session low.
No.
I'm gonna say it's like somewhere in the 5.
I'm gonna say 5.6.
I'll say 5.2.
5.2. Okay.
5.2. Holy shit!
Oh wow! Good on you, man.
Damn. I was gonna say 5 even, and then you said 5.6. I'm like, I'll go 5.2.
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
Not bad at all.
Thank you. What a start.
Yeah. I was so hoping you were like 9.2. Like,
Son of a bitch.
Whoa! Misjudged that
A
one.
little off. Yeah, I'm still so surprised by the coffee on that though. That alone makes it really interesting.
Yeah. All right, Kyle. Now that we've got our first beer in this lineup,
That's right. We're into it.
are you happy about it or not? I can't tell.
We're all in. That's a fine start.
Okay.
But it could go either way. I'm not gonna lie. That might have been the best in the bunch.
We'll
see.
find out together.
We'll see.
What do you want to talk about this week?
All right. So, this is the day before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it is.
Thanksgiving is known as a day of kind of overindulgence. Obviously giving thanks and all that kind of stuff too, but it's also a day about eating and just really overindulging in every bite of food that you can stuff into your face. But anyway, the whole conversation of food and stuff, it got me to thinking about foods that I really enjoy that, I guess other people might see as embarrassing. And I think that's kind of like the definition of like a guilty pleasure.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I thought it'd be fun to have a conversation about guilty pleasures.
Oh, I like that.
About
That's good.
foods
That's good.
that you like that, other people would think are gross.
Okay.
Or movies that you enjoy that other people are just, are not fans of or something like that. Maybe a book, maybe a song, a style of music or something. I think it'd just be fun to have a conversation about different guilty pleasures.
My recommendation first, as we get into this, is if you're listening to this on a Wednesday, on the Wednesday prior to Thanksgiving,
Good on you.
Yeah,
First of all.
absolutely. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Hardcore fan.
Oh yeah, and we love you. I recommend grabbing your favorite beverage, whatever beverage that is, cracking it open, and let us walk you through our guilty pleasures while you're preparing maybe your Thanksgiving dinner, because people do that ahead of time, right?
A little bit of prep work. Maybe you're making a pie.
Oh, okay.
Or a side dish that you can, heat up in the morning or something.
And let's be honest, if you're not American, totally good. You can eat along with us as well. I mean, I know it's just a random Thursday to you, but hey,
Everybody has guilty pleasures.
yeah.
Give me a definition what you think of when you think of guilty pleasure.
Okay. I feel like a guilty pleasure is something that it's something that would cause you to explain why you like it, or maybe cause a little bit of embarrassment of like admitting that you like that thing.
Correct.
That's probably a guilty pleasure.
Right.
Maybe it's a little too decadent, or it's a little too like, I guess what the kids say these days, a little too off-brand for you.
Sure. Off-brand. I like that.
Oh, thank you. But I would feel like that guilty pleasure, if someone were to ask you about it, is cause for some explanation.
Sure.
What about you?
Yeah, no, same. Like, I think there's a little bit of embarrassment that might
Right.
go along with it of like, it's hard to admit, but yes, I do enjoy My Little Ponies. It's kind of one of those things, but but I also lean into it hard and I'm okay with that.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's just kind of where I'm at with this conversation of these things that you totally enjoy. That it's probably a little bit off brand,
Right.
But whatever.
But you like what you like.
You like what you like.
Yeah.
Totally.
So do you want to start like broad general categories?
Sure. Let's go with a guilty pleasure food.
Okay.
You want me to lead?
I'll follow.
Okay.
What is your guilty pleasure food item?
I've been eating it my whole life.
Cookie dough.
I love it. That's not even it, bro.
Oh, no.
Not even close.
Wow.
It's a little thing called, or at least I've always called them, Wiener sausages.
That is nothing.
I think maybe a higher brow person might call them Vienna sausages.
Because that's the name of the city.
But they are Wiener wieners where I come from, sir. And I love them. I absolutely
listen. I want to be clear.
love them.
I'm not laughing at your Vienna sausages. I'm laughing at the way you're saying.
That's a Wiener wiener. And sir, we make a sandwich out of those called a Wiener sandwich. All right.
Yeah.
You take that can of Wieners.
What's on a Wiener sandwich?
On a Wiener sandwich, you got your 2 pieces of white bread.
Like Wonder Bread, white bread.
It's actually. I've actually like grown to really enjoy it on rye.
Add some nuance.
Add a little bit of a texture depth.
Sure.
You know. But no, just straight white bread.
That's because the Vienna sausage is basically the same texture as the bread itself.
Sure. Well, you know.
Okay.
All right. So you got your 2 pieces of white bread.
Uh-huh.
You take your can of Wieners. You crack it. You let the juice flow. You don't want to soak the bread with the juice.
I know some dudes who drink that juice.
My father was one of them. Indeed. I never could.
No,
My God, I never could.
Me neither.
Especially because, all right, the house that I grew up in, we didn't have heating or cooling. So your can of Wieners in the pantry, when you pull it out, that liquid is congealed now. And you've got this like Jello, Wiener sausage Jello juice. So you have to like rinse them off to get all of that gelatinous snot off of it.
That is disgusting.
It's tough, man. It really is. It's tough.
Real quick.
Yeah.
The Vienna sausage, for those of us, for those people who are not in the southern United States, is it a southern thing? I don't think it is. I think it's.
I think you could probably get that at any
Is it an
supermarket
American
in the
thing?
world. They're from Vienna, bro.
No, that's
They're European.
what I mean by that is like our friends in the UK. Do they know about Vienna sausages?
I'm sure they do.
Okay.
They eat some weird stuff in the UK.
You just got the entire island mad at you,
Bro, haggis? Really? Some blood sausage? You gonna at me right now with some Vienna?
Well, okay, good point. So
Vienna.
they come in this little pop top can.
Yep.
And there's 5 of them in a can.
Excuse me, sir.
6?
9. It might be 7.
7.
7 wieners in a can.
But they're like what? Maybe 2 inches long?
Sure.
Half an inch in diameter?
Sure.
I mean, they're small.
Like,
They're
yeah.
small. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so Wiener sandwich. 2 pieces of white bread.
Yep.
Wonder bread. Perfect.
I have to.
You,
Mayo?
You take, no, please, sir.
Okay.
Mustard.
I'm sorry. Ooh.
Yellow French's mustard. Each Wiener gets sliced in half, long ways.
Okay. Yeah.
You place that. If you're bougie, you double stack them.
Ooh.
Because once you've cut up probably like 4 wieners, you've already like filled up the bread. So you can rotate them. So you always want the flat side facing the bread. That creates stability between layers. If you go flat side on top of curved side, it's going to get wonky and it's going to get messy in a hurry. But mustard on both sides of the bread, and well, not both sides of the bread, but both sides of the.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Two
layer that
slices,
up.
right?
I'm good to go, man. Do that with some Doritos.
Sure.
That is life
Wait, Doritos on the sandwich or like on the side?
on the side.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you could
But
do
on
it,
the sandwich, wow. I mean,
but no.
salt on salt on salt.
Wiener sandwich
Honestly, like
Builds
I'm
a
kind of
body
hungry
good.
right now. Like that sounds
builds a
delicious.
body good.
It's the reason why you never get sick.
It's no joke, man.
It's that Florida water and
Yeah.
that good old
Wiener wiener, Wiener protein.
I don't know if I can top that.
Whew. I love that stuff, man. My wife has made fun of me for years about it because as soon as I crack a can, she can smell it.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't matter where in the house she is. As soon as I crack a can, she's like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?"
She's upstairs in the second floor in the back bedroom. Like
Alabama's having a meal. Way to go.
she starts just playing
Yeah.
the banjo, dude.
Ding, 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 ding.
That's good. That's a good guilty pleasure.
I love them, man.
Yeah.
To this day, I just bought 4 cans the other day, man. Check. What you got, Nick?
Oh man, now I feel like I got a lot of pressure. All right, so this is a guilty pleasure, not because of what the thing is, but because the quantity at which I consume them.
Ooh.
And that is Disney chicken figures.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I never feel like I have to explain a chicken tender.
Sure.
Like, I don't have to justify my chicken tender eating.
Right. They're popular for a reason.
Well, for sure. I mean, it's fried chicken in tender form.
In finger food form.
Correct. I mean, who doesn't?
It's a large chicken nugget.
Yeah. I mean, I'm for chicken nuggets. Give me a chicken tendy. That's what I want.
Sure.
So it's not the item itself, but it's the quantity at which I want to consume them. Now, the standard order here in our parts of a chicken tender is like 3 to maybe 5 tenders, depending on your location in which you're receiving said tenders.
Sure.
When I am on a Disney cruise, which unfortunately hasn't happened lately, but maybe we'll make it happen in the spring, summer.
Right.
I go up to this counter. There's this counter. You've been to this counter, and they're giving you chicken tenders. Normally they hand you chicken tenders. I mean, not in your hand, but on a plate. They hand you
High five.
right.
Tender five.
They hand you chicken tenders, maybe 2 at a time, maybe 3 if you're lucky. I look that person in the eye.
Keep going.
I say, you don't stop until I say stop. And we have a moment, and there's that moment of fear when they
shaking that tender over to you.
when they can no longer hold the plate in their hand.
Right.
And that's when I'm like, one more.
And we'll be done here.
And then they're like, you want some sauce? I'm like, yes, I do.
You know it.
What do you want? Give me
What
that
you
ranch. Give me that honey mustard. Give me that barbecue. And then I'm going to walk down 6 flights of stairs to the movie theater on this boat. And I'm going to sit there in the dark and consume 24 chicken tenders.
The equivalent of 7 chickens.
Easy. And I am not a person who does that regularly by any means. But listen, if I'm on a cruise and that is available, I'm going to do it a good 2 to 3 times.
Right.
And it could be a 2-day cruise. And I'm going to do it 2 to 3 times. So, but you get looks in the elevator or on the stairs as you're walking down, carefully balancing.
Guy has a mountain of chicken.
chickens.
That is impressive.
And well, the stairs are like, oh, he's, people kind of rationalize it.
Should we follow him? Where's he going?
You need some help with that? Or like, he's clearly taking it to his family. They're hanging out by a
Must
pool.
have a lot of kids.
Yeah, that's what they do. But then I look those people in the eye, I'm like, they're all for me. And I walk away calmly.
My tendies.
Fight me.
Back up.
Right. And I listen.
Stop looking at my tendies.
There has been several instances where it might have come to blows.
Yeah. Hold my tenders.
No, I don't want anyone to hold my tenders. I'm holding my tenders. Back off.
You put your tenders in the air. Come at me.
I'll fight you with my left hand. That's how much I care about these tenders. So yeah, I would say that that is my guilty pleasure food.
Sure.
Almost like above everything, like decadent. I'm not a big dessert guy.
Right.
I do like a good burger, but man,
dude, you make a banana pudding.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Bro.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
It's these tenders specifically.
It really,
I know the
really
tender
is.
you're talking about. Like they are. You could have the finest steak in front of you. You could have a lobster tail. I don't care what it is. It won't taste better than that tender.
That is correct. That is correct.
It just won't. And there's no meal that won't be improved by that tender being put on top of all of it.
100% so. Yeah. You like your cheesecake? Put a chicken tender.
Put this chicken tender right there and tell me how much you like it now, because it's going to be more.
Correct. Yeah. It's basically like anything in a Drep and Stone sticker. You put a Drep and Stone sticker on it, makes that thing better.
Yeah.
Put a chicken
90% better.
It eats 90.
Yeah.
Might even be 100.
Mind blowing.
Yeah. You put a chicken tendy on something, and this chicken tendy.
Put a Drep and Stone sticker on your tendy. You eat that shit.
Delicious.
Woo!
All right. So, first guilty pleasure out of the way.
Check.
You want to move on to another beer?
Let's do it.
All right. So, let's move on to the Dunkin Midnight. Dude, look at how dark that is in this glass.
Yeah, they didn't get the name wrong.
No. This is I think they're calling this an American porter.
What does that mean?
That's a beer style.
Brewed with American hops?
Brewed with Dunkin coffee.
One of them coffee stouts.
Yeah, basically. It is dark. Have you had the Dunkin Midnight
Nope.
coffee? It's their dark roast coffee. And it's actually pretty good. Problem is, and Dunkin, y'all need to figure this out. They don't have it all the time. Like, you can order it on the app or whatever. Mm-hmm. But then they're like, you go in and they're like, we got to brew a new one. And I'm like, well, why didn't you brew it when I ordered it?
Yeah.
That's just me and my 21st century problems. You know what I mean?
Right.
What you got on the nose?
Coffee.
Yeah.
Definitely. Some dark coffee up in there. There's a sweet.
I was gonna say
those.
there's like a hint of sweet, but it doesn't say there's lactose in here.
Yeah, I don't know if I might be questioning that.
Nah, there's definitely a good like dark depth to that sweet though. All right, I'm going in.
Yes, sir.
Wow,
that's solid.
Wow, that is delightful.
You could just about tell me that was just straight iced coffee, just cold coffee, and I would just about believe it.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a slight boozy note to it.
I mean, it's got the crisp, on the carbonation.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that, I would totally just buy it. That's just coffee.
You know what? Like, this is sacrilege in some circles, but I bet you threw like 2 scoops of ice cream in that glass. Ooh. Oh man, like
that'd be
delicious.
Right on.
Yeah, like vanilla ice cream.
You're making me wonder.
I don't have any.
I mean, I'm not doing it. I'm almost wondering like if you just do like a creamer in there.
Ooh,
just like a little shot of cream.
Yeah,
maybe.
I got just regular milk. I don't. I normally just drink my coffee black. I don't want to put milk in this coffee or this beer.
This makes me wonder. But yeah, subtle sweet. It's there, but just straight up delightful coffee flavor.
So can I ask you? Are you coming around to the Dunkin 4-pack?
I'm digging the Midnight for sure.
Yeah,
that's solid.
I'll say this: I definitely like the Midnight more. But when I think about like this progression, I'm still actually pleasantly surprised with the Dunkin Pumpkin.
Interesting.
I mean, it still kind of gives me what I want.
Again, just because of like the watery kind of note to it, like this is full flavor.
Oh yeah.
This doesn't have that element at all. So
right.
I'm definitely enjoying this more.
I know you're a Dunkel guy, and I know you.
Yeah.
I know you like the dark beer, so I knew you'd love this one right away.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's good.
You want to do ABV on the Dunkin Midnight?
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay. Did I go first last time, or do you go first?
I think you went first because that affected my answer and put me on the bullseye.
Okay, you go first.
Okay. This one, I want to go up just because more flavor. I feel like that's going to add ABV. I'm going to go 7.2.
Ooh.
I'm going up a full 2 points. Yeah, everything about this just says more.
I'm going to say 6.5.
Okay.
I'm going to go 6.5. You said 7.2, and I was like, it's high. I don't think it's that much higher. All right. I'm going to say 6.5, 7.2. It is, 6 even.
Whoa.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Man. So you could have a few of these.
Well, I think the bitter is what masks, like the bitter throws you. Because like the coffee bitter,
sure,
like you kind of already associate it with maybe an IPA. I'm not saying you do. I think like I do, and just in general, people might. So like you're kind of thinking a little high. Yeah. I can see that.
I would definitely not put it in the realm of like, imperial as far as taste and sweetness and all that kind of stuff. But I definitely would have thought it packed more than 6. All right. Good on it.
All right. You ready to move on?
Sure.
Okay. Let me ask you this before we continue.
Okay.
Do you feel like a guilty pleasure must also be something that most people don't like?
I don't know. That's hard to say. Not necessarily, because I think just about anything, especially nowadays, just about everything has a fan base.
Right.
It's almost kind of like, a lot of things are like cult classics and stuff like that where not everybody loves it, but like there's definitely a large group of people who have gotten together and really enjoy that thing.
Sure. Okay. I was just wondering. Our next guilty pleasure.
Which category?
Let's go. Let's go with movies. What is your guilty pleasure movie?
Okay. For me, I will definitely go with, all right, so, I grew up in an era of the 90s, late 80s, early 90s. I've got an older sister who, I'm not going to say dominated.
She does listen.
Our entertainment. She does.
Yeah.
Things that she was into definitely influenced things that I got into and enjoyed.
Forcefully.
Not in a forceful way. Just in a...
Kyle, you will like this.
We're watching this. Man, there's a fantastic story of my sister like taking a table from a restaurant from a kid who already was like sitting at the table, and it's fantastic. It's a great story. At the Magic Kingdom, no less. But anyway, so there were movies that my sister and I watched on repeat over and over and over again. Pretty Woman being one of them.
Right.
That is like, I know that movie backwards and forwards. Shouldn't have at the age that I was watching it, but I did. Another movie though that like, man, I could literally watch it every day and enjoy the hell out of it is Father of the Bride. Steve Martin and Martin Short.
Oh man.
I freaking love that movie. My kids love that movie
together too.
Yeah, I mean, like it's one of the Martin Short's performance as Frank Egelhofer, and his crazy accent and things that he I love it. Yeah. Like I'm so into that movie. Like it's not even funny. Like I can listen to the soundtrack and play the whole movie through. I love that movie. That is definitely like a guilty pleasure of like, I know it's not the best movie, but man, like it just throws me back to like childhood hard.
Right. Have you seen Only Murders in the Building?
Not yet. It is on my to-do list.
I think you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
All right. So
that movie. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yes. I don't remember it very well. Clearly not as well as you do.
Well, let me tell you.
But I definitely
it starts out. Yeah. No. It's great. Like I love that movie so much. Yeah, it's just fantastic. Like I even got into like there's a guy that sings on the soundtrack. His name's Steve Tyrell.
Yeah,
bit of a like contemporary crooner that I bought a couple of his albums just because of like I liked his music in that movie so much. They had a sequel to it that was pretty good. You know, they captured a lot of the feel of the original, but like it's still just not as good as that. That first story is so tight. Eugene Levy's in that movie.
Yeah, he is.
Oh man, like it's just so good.
You know, there's something about those movies, those, you know, late 80s to mid 90s comedies, like family kind of comedies, that like they're so tightly written, they're well acted. I feel like literally like the way that they're acted, the way they're written, the way they're shot, it was like, okay, the production company's like, all right, so we've got 2 weeks, and the director's like, hold my beer, I'm going to do it in a week.
Right.
And like,
we're going to knock this shit out.
Gone. And because a lot of those are filmed on like sound stages or like back lot kind of things, so it's not like they have to like scout locations and all of that. Like,
right? I
mean, the same house is probably in all of those movies,
right?
So it's really kind of cool.
There's a scene in the movie where Steve Martin's character is told the price that this wedding is going to cost him to provide for his daughter, and they're inviting. I forget what the final count is. It's like, you know, they're going to having like 400 people at this wedding, and he's told the price. And the guy says, it's going to be for 50 a head. And he's like, whoa, what did you just say? It sounded like you said 150 a head. And he's like, no. And Steve Martin is like, whew, thank you. I was about to shoot myself. It's 250 a head. Right. And there's like this. And like, you know, as a kid, I'm like, you're going to have to pay more money. As an adult, I was like, holy shit. How much did this wedding cost in 1992? Right. Oh my God. Like, what would that cost today? Holy shit. He spent a fortune on this wedding. I don't blame him for getting so pissed off. Like, there's no way.
That's really funny.
It's a great movie, man.
Yeah. No, it's really
I love it hard.
So my guilty pleasure movie involves a basketball player. Mm-hmm. Okay. In the early to mid 90s, there was a basketball player that was one of the biggest stars in the NBA.
Steve Kerr.
Very close. Like this guy was like on top. And he had a video game. Mm-hmm. He was actually in a couple of video games. Mm-hmm. And he starred in a movie.
Yeah.
This movie did not have Bugs Bunny in it. This is Kazam with Shaq.
Wow.
I know. Man, I loved Shaq.
Loved?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And like, I was not a big basketball fan. Like, I liked watching Michael Jordan.
Sure.
And if anybody asked me, Shaq better play than Mike? No, Shaq is not better than Michael.
Right.
There's no way. But for whatever reason, Shaq was like the basketball player for me. Like, I had all my friends like, no, Michael Jordan. I'm like, yeah, okay, fine. Shaq? That was my basketball player.
Right.
And he came out with a video game called Shaq Fu.
Yes.
For the Sega Genesis. Brilliant. I defy anybody. Go back and play Shaq Fu. It's better than Mortal Kombat.
And it was just a fighting game?
Yeah. Yeah, there was some weird storyline. I don't really know.
Yeah, I was trying to remember. Like, I remember playing a Shaq video game, but I can't remember like if it somehow involved. No, I take it back. Maybe I'm thinking of like whatever that weird offshoot of NBA Jam was, where it was like rappers and NBA Jam.
Right.
Anyway.
Like the NFL Blitz of NBA games.
Sure.
Yeah. But he came out with a movie in 96 in which Shaq plays a genie named Kazam.
Yeah, like he is the genie in the bottle.
He
got to rub him the right way.
That's not.
That's another 90s reference.
No, I know. Christina Aguilera.
Genie in a bottle.
Yeah, no, I get it. Anyway, so this movie is terrible. Like, I've seen it years since. Like, I watched it during quarantine, like maybe midsummer last year.
No joke.
And it does not hold up well at all.
No.
But I really like it.
Still enjoy it.
I don't know why.
It's that whole nostalgia.
It's nostalgia for sure. Yeah. Shaq plays a genie who like is in a boombox somehow,
right.
and a kid like his dad's kind of a punk, and he finds this boombox and like tries to dust it off, and Shaq comes out of the boombox,
Right.
and I don't know. Shaq also is an amateur rapper.
Right.
Legitimately at the time.
Yeah, he had a CD.
Yeah. But I don't know. The movie was just fun as the child me loved it.
Sure.
We must have watched it like on repeat. And I know that my grandparents, we watched a lot of movies with my grandparents. They're terrible, hated it. But I
Right.
know I saw it a lot as a
Right.
kid. Guilty pleasure movie for me.
Yeah, that was definitely in that era of like Little Big League,
right.
and Rookie of the Year. Like there were a lot of
Little
those.
Giants.
Yeah.
And like
Sandlot.
Sandlot, right.
There was the soccer one.
Like that was, I feel like the early to mid 90s was like the kids movie era of like, these movies are kids movies, but they also like,
They're not mindless.
right. They're not just cute. Like there's a story, there's like depth.
Sure,
of
they're not.
things.
They're not 100% for kids.
Yeah. So I would say like, it's not a movie that I go back to often, but it is a movie like
You can still go back to.
I
it
can
and
still go back to it.
get
Like
a lot out of it.
I remember sitting on the couch going, I'm watching Kazam, and Carol's like, I'm out.
Yeah, I'll see you later.
Correct.
I don't know that I actually ever fully watched Kazam.
I'm not advocating
honest.
for you to go watch it.
I won't. I'm just saying. I remember Steel. I do remember watching that, and that was just kind of like the caliber of a superhero movie at the time.
Correct. Yeah.
Good on you, man.
Thanks. All right, Kyle, you ready to move on to our next one?
I guess. Nothing's topping that. I'll go ahead and call it.
Okay.
I don't think.
Our next one is the Harpoon Dunkin Maple Cream.
Maple cream.
Yeah.
Man, back to Vermont. Here we go.
I mean, this is possibly brewed in Vermont or Boston, one of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maple cream.
Maple cream.
All right.
So this is blonde ale brewed with Dunkin' Donuts. Brewed with Dunkin' Donuts and wait, what?
They threw some donuts up in there?
That's what this says.
All right.
Blonde ale brewed with Dunkin' Donuts and maple
Yeah.
with natural and artificial flavors and artificial colors. Annatto seed, turmeric extract added.
All right.
I
I do like a little extra turmeric extract.
I'm assuming, well, it does say for color. Annatto seed is like yellow. Like it makes yellow.
Cool.
I want to point out, hold on. Do you have an egg allergy?
No, sir.
How about a wheat allergy?
Wheat?
Wheat.
No.
How about a milk allergy?
Not that I'm aware of.
How about a soybean allergy?
I am good.
Because it contains all those things.
Okay. We are not risking any allergies.
No. Definitely lighter than the Dunkin Midnight.
Yeah, it's definitely blonde.
It definitely, you can tell it's a blonde base.
Yep.
But I would say it's a little less hazy than the Dunkin Pumpkin.
For sure. I don't. If I remember correctly, that Dunkin Pumpkin, you really couldn't see through it. But this has a little light shine through
Yeah,
it.
but do you see the chunky donut bits?
Yeah, I see in there.
Just kidding. Why does it say, that's got to be a typo or something, brewed with Dunkin' Donuts?
We threw them donuts in there.
Okay.
Wait, glaze or cake batter? Like
Sour cream.
cake. Oh, now you're talking.
All right, what you got on the nose?
Maple syrup.
It really does.
Hard.
Yeah, man, it is like,
You're leaning into it.
it really is. Do you like the maple glazed donuts?
No, my daughter does.
Yeah,
She loves them.
I'm not a big fan either.
But that maple creamy you had up there in Burlington, I think if that thing melted down,
Ooh.
probably smelled just like this.
It's like too sweet.
Yep. I agree.
On the nose, which makes me really worried for the palate.
Yeah, maybe it's gonna be a good hard curveball.
Yep. All right, going in?
Woo! Yeah.
Huh.
That's kind of delightful.
It's actually really good. Yeah.
That blonde
Wow.
ale really pokes through.
Yeah, you get a really good bitter that kind of cuts through that like super sweet on the nose, and it's not that sweet on the palate.
I am shocked at how subtle that sweet is.
Yeah, it's really strong on the nose. Like, I mean, it smells like a maple cream donut for sure.
Damn. I expected to hate that.
Yeah.
That is kind of like a great little aftertaste of like pancakes, man.
It really does kind of taste like pancakes.
Yeah, like
I feel like if they added lactose to this, it would push it too far.
yeah.
So like this is, I would say it's really well balanced for
Yeah.
sure.
Absolutely. Man.
That's quite delightful.
That's refreshing.
It
I can't imagine
truly
that I would
is.
ever have said maple would be refreshing in any scenario. Because anytime I've ever had it in anything, it's more of a kind of a decadent, almost like just kind of overwhelming sweetness. But like right there, it's kind of refreshing.
All right, what you got on ABV?
Let's see. All right, last one was 6.
Yep.
I don't think it's that high. I'm gonna back it up. I'm gonna say this one's 5 even.
Okay. I'm gonna go 5.8.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm gonna go 5.8.
All right. We are landing at 5.5.
Oh, okay.
5.5.
Yeah. So what did you say?
I said 5 even. I think I said 5 even.
Okay.
And you said 5'8".
So not bad.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on. We've done movies. We've done food. You want to go to our last guilty pleasure category?
Yep.
Let's go with music.
Muzak.
Yeah. What is your guilty pleasure music?
From an early age, I was always more interested in music that more or less just like the people around me were not. I was really early in I was like young teens when I really kind of got into Frank Sinatra and stuff like that, and that wasn't really music that my parents listened to or anything like that. Certainly not any of my friends didn't listen to any of that stuff. So I've always kind of been on like the outskirts of like just kind of like popular music anyway.
Right.
If it's a guilty pleasure, I'll definitely admit that, and I wasn't into it up until like I would say like in the past like maybe like 5 years.
Speed metal.
Speed death metal.
German speed death metal.
I used to criticize my wife for doing it because I'd be like, honey, it's got to be the right time. And this is not the time.
Okay.
But gosh dang it, I do it myself now. It could be freaking May, and on the drive into work, I'll put on some Christmas music, man. I'll do it. Like,
you realize you just became Carol's like worst enemy. Carol hates it.
Can't help it.
We've got it on record. Carol hates Christmas music.
I can't help it, man.
Like so much so that like there's a station around here that like literally the day after Halloween they start playing Christmas music.
Yeah.
I accidentally hit the button for that station. She's like, boom. Like not even missing a beat. Nope. Click.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not everything. Like I've got my own like Christmas playlist on my Amazon Music account.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is like instrumental and stuff like that. That's just kind of like easy listening. But like, I'll go to that playlist.
That's
like,
what I was gonna say. Like I'm not
any time of year.
I'm not super surprised by that because a lot of I know you like crooners.
Mm-hmm.
I know you like easy listening, kind of like lounge music, things like that. And like that's 90% of Christmas music.
It can be.
I mean, sure. I mean, you got Mariah Carey.
Yeah, there's a lot of like Last Christmas I Gave You My Heart,
Sure.
like that kind of like the 80s especially, kind of like popular Christmas music.
But I feel
that
like
I don't really dig. It's
feel
more
like
like really
Christmas.
hardcore, like
Right.
like traditional Christmas stuff. Ah man, like it just totally.
I'm not surprised
I can
by
pop
that at all.
that in year round now.
I'm not surprised.
Not
by
like
that.
every day,
Sure.
but maybe like,
Well, and that's what makes
one
it,
day out of every month. I might just like
That makes it a guilty pleasure.
just a cool.
because if
just
you
a-
did it all the time,
you go outside one morning and it's rather cool. You're like, oh, man, I
by rather cool, you mean it's 89 instead of 90.
put on some Nat King Cole Christmas music. This
Again,
morning.
I am not
do it.
surprised by that at all. All right, so my guilty pleasure music is
Frozen.
no. Actually, this might be better.
Adina Menzel.
Idina Menzel.
Let
or
it go.
Celine Dion.
Love that shit.
Crank Celine Dion. No.
I got Celine Dion.
I believe that. There's nothing. There's no part of me that doesn't believe that. I absolutely believe that.
Yep.
My guilty pleasure music, I would have to say, is early 90s country.
Early 90s country.
Yep.
All right. Tell me an example.
I'm going to go with like Watermelon Crawl by Alan Jackson.
Damn.
That might be 80s. I don't
To
really
the
know.
Watermelon
I know.
Crawl.
I know.
I think that's 90s.
You think it's 90s? I'm thinking like all of Garth Brooks.
Sure. Brooks and Dunn. I mean, you did just reference Neon Moon.
Yeah, I did just reference him. I'm going to say 90s, early 90s, mid 90s country completely.
Sure.
And it's not something that I listen to very often.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that like I used to give my wife shit for. Like, you like that? But man, as a kid, I listened to that all the time.
Right.
That was just what was popular. I mean, Garth Brooks was like the biggest star on the planet.
Totally.
So we listened to that a lot. Every once in a while, I'm like, I pop in some 90s. Like, there's a really cool 90s country playlist on Amazon Music, man.
Mm-hmm.
I pop that in and just like, here's where we are.
Totally.
And that is not music that I generally listen to, like, as a whole.
Right.
But it puts me in that nostalgic mood.
Yeah.
And now that I've said that, like, I'm realizing a lot of my guilty pleasures are all wrapped in nostalgia. I mean, and maybe that's part of the
I
guilty
think
pleasure.
that's kind of what it is. Yeah. There's a little bit of that. Like,
Yeah.
it's something that you were kind of like exposed to that was kind of niche at
Sure.
a time period, but it gives you this kind of,
Or even popular at a time period, and like it just takes you back there.
perhaps. Yeah.
Yeah. But man, put on some Garth Brooks, put on some Brooks and Dunn,
Yeah.
put on some early Tim McGraw. Dude.
Like same, but I'm about maybe half a decade prior, like late 80s.
Sure.
I mean, I just say just the decade, the 80s country.
Right.
Oh, dude.
All right, you want to move on to our last beer?
Man, can't lie. That maple cream was delightful.
Yeah, no, I
believe that.
really like it.
I thought that was going to be way too just bleh.
I'm going to tell you what. I'm excited for our next one.
All right.
All right, so this is the Dunkin Blueberry Matcha IPA. This is an India Pale Ale brewed with blueberry and matcha tea blend with natural flavors added.
All right.
I mean, that is honestly like that is the proper response to all of those words in one sentence.
We'll see. Can sound good.
Can sound good. That's a positive note.
Damn. Woo. I can't like it is not
You
even
are
within
2 feet from
yes,
it.
and I can smell this shit. Which I will say, artificially, blueberry is like my favorite artificial flavor.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that. You get one of those like scented markers.
Sure. Ooh. Or I mean, I mean like flavor wise.
Oh, okay.
Like like even like a
Blueberry.
candle.
Oh, okay.
I've got a blueberry cobbler.
I feel like though
foam soap at my bathroom sink that I love.
Right. But I feel
amazing.
like blueberry is a pretty easy flavor to get right
Sure.
in scent.
Yeah.
What you got on the nose?
All right, I bring this shit to my nose and I don't get blueberry anymore. I got it back here, but I bring it in.
Dude,
and I get
weird.
fucking IPA.
That is weird.
That is bizarre.
You open that can and it's blueberry.
Yeah.
And like you bring it to your nose. And it's just you're right. It's IPA. I get like this weird like blueberry whiff. It's like a
Sure.
but-
Describe matcha. I know matcha tea is a big thing. Honestly, I'm not sure that I've ever had it. I feel like I've had like a weird like matcha Kit Kat or something.
Oh yeah, we had that one together.
So yeah, I'm not sure that I could peg matcha.
Yeah, so matcha is basically just like ground tea leaves and they're green tea. So green tea is normally like decaffeinated, but I guess like matcha is so concentrated, like it's supposed to give you kind of like a coffee-esque feeling maybe. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of experience with matcha.
Okay. I think that's what I'm confused about on the nose.
Yeah.
It's probably the matcha poking through. But yeah, there's this weird botanical thing that's happening.
Herbal. Yeah.
And I'm guessing that's what that is. But then it's just like totally swallowed up by IPA.
Yeah. All right, I'm going in.
Okay.
There's
just not a lot anywhere.
It tastes fake.
Yeah.
like it tastes fake.
Agreed. Yeah, it tastes manufactured.
Like I feel like blueberry is one of those flavors that like can easily go into the realm of like
Blue.
yeah,
Not blueberry. Just tastes blue.
just blue. Well, like, cherry is one that people like the fake cherry and then you get like, oh, that's Robitussin-y.
Sure.
It's like grape flavored anything tastes nothing like a grape.
Yeah. No.
So I think it's the same kind of idea.
Even wine doesn't taste like grapes. It's made from grapes. Doesn't taste like grapes.
It seems scientific right there.
Prove me wrong.
Yeah.
That's weird. Nothing pokes out. So like, if I were to, give these a flavor scale,
Yeah.
Like that pumpkin had like maybe like a 4.
Sure.
The midnight was like 8, 9, 8.5. Like it had a lot of flavor.
Yeah.
That maple cream, solid 7.
Easy.
But like really good flavor. This is like a 2. Mm-hmm. Like everything's just
It's muted and
really
really
quiet.
There's not a whole lot here that I'm like, love it. No. Even the IPA notes are just, eh. Of these 4, I could go back and easily have a pour of the first 3.
I would say the midnight and the maple cream.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
I don't know that I'd care to ever have that Dunkin Pumpkin.
What I'm saying is like, if somebody's like, I got this blueberry matcha, pass.
Awesome. You got water? Actually, I'm good.
Not a fan. Not a fan. Well, you got anything else?
No. Guilty pleasures. I think it's an interesting thing, but I think you still go back to like what you were saying at the beginning of like, you like what you like.
Sure.
And there's no reason to like have any kind of anxiety or embarrassment about it. Own it.
Yeah.
Own that shit and be proud of it.
Own it.
Man.
Own it. Be proud of it.
Lean
Absolutely.
into those Vineyard wieners, man. I love
If
that
you've
shit.
never had one, you need to go get you a can and try it right now.
Man, I love that shit. It's so good.
So we want to know, what is your guilty pleasure food, guilty pleasure movie, and guilty pleasure music?
Yeah. And we'd also like to know, did we skip a category? Is there a good category out there that we should hit up that you could write into us and then we have to pick that up on a later episode? Because
Yeah.
we'll totally do that.
Oh yeah, we'll let you
We
know.
will do that.
Yeah, just like we answered Swift's question, we'll let you know.
Swifty. Yep.
Yeah. We also want to know, have you had the Harpoon Duncan Variety Pack?
Yeah, have you had any of these things? Some of them are pretty good. Some of them are in the box.
And if you want to, call Harpoon and be like, hey, where can I get more of this? We heard it on Drep and Stone. Let them know, honestly.
Always let them know that you heard about it from Drep and Stone first.
Correct. So you can get in touch with us through email. That's drepandstone@gmail.com. You can also get in touch with us through social media.
It's always one word, Drep and Stone, DREP and Stone. Find us, like us, we'll like you right back. We are on Twitter, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram and TikTok.
And if you'd like to support the podcast, you can literally tell anybody about Drep and Stone, and honestly, it's going to benefit everyone involved.
Yeah, your day and theirs.
Absolutely. You can also buy us a coffee on our Buy Me a Coffee page. It's buymeacoffee.com/drepandstone. Helps keep the lights on and the recording machine working.
Coffee.
And you can literally rate us wherever it is you find great podcasts like this one.
Yeah. Where do you listen?
Me personally?
Yeah.
iTunes.
iTunes.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Spotify's good too.
I downloaded an app. It's the podcast app off of Google Play.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know people listen to us on Stitcher.
Sure.
And there's a couple other podcast apps that people listen to. Good Pods. People have listened to us on Good Pods.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Wherever it is you find us, just let them know how much you love us.
Indeed.
That's super helpful.
Always.
Always. Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
May your glass overflow.
And your ass never show. Duncan, cheers, buddy.
Cheers. You good? He's like,
And I was like, I'm hit.
It didn't bust.
And buddy of mine was like, no, you're not. Shut up. Like, it didn't bust. I'm like, I don't care. I can't see.
Hold up.
Hold up.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Because they're both wild hits.
Wild bits.
Wild bits.
Sure. That too was my nickname in college.
Wild hits. Woo. America runs on Dunkin.
Oh, it's an ale brewed with lactose, cinnamon, pumpkin, puree, coffee, and other natural flavors.
Fuck. And some other mystery flavor.
One.
Cocaine. Wow.
It's all gone. I'm so happy.
That was great.
I love the velvety texture.
Delicious. Loves Papa John's. Eats that pizza.
Loves
you a shakaroni. Or whatever it is.
Right. He's like,
we know quite a lot about that shit.
yeah, we do.
And maple creamy.
Oh, delicious.
All right, so yeah, that's going in the realm of public display.
Right.
Your PDA of Christmas might be inappropriate.
Too much.
Yeah.
Nope.
I ain't even got that shit close to me yet.
And you can smell it.
And I feel like I'm in Bath and Body Works. Totally.
T-Swift.
Yep. T-Swift.
Maybe.
Happy lady. I showed it. Is it?
That's what it looks like, huh?
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.